For all the nerds that's gonna say, oh, can you do this in the dark? Yes, eyes are closed. I'm doggone Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder right now, and I can feel this rope, and I can feel the teeth of this platform, and guess what? I can tell that I have enough space. Hey, welcome back, guys. I'm Andre Thompson, Privileged Bow Hunter. Hey, I wanna demystify the saddle hunting process. I get question after question after question on, hey, I am a beginner, or hey, I'm a hunter, but I want to get into saddle hunting. Where do I start? Can you make a video on where to start? So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna break down all of this process. I'm gonna take you to literally ground zero of saddle hunting, the most basic way you can do it, because I feel like a lot of you guys want to get in saddle hunting, but because there's so many different options out there right now, you're kind of like buffering. You got that spinning wheel going on in your brain. And then in my line of work, what we always say is confused people do nothing. So I'm gonna help you not be confused. But before we get into it, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers. Cannot get there without y'all. Let's go. Okay, at its core, to saddle hunt, all you need is a climbing method. You need a saddle. On that saddle, you need a lineman's rope. So when you're attaching sticks, and you need a tether to hold you in place. And then you need a platform or something to put your feet on, to rest your feet on. If you have those things, how you skin that cat is really not that important, right? As long as you have those methods and you have them safely, that's what you need to do. Now, when it comes to, I wanna try it this way, I wanna try that method, guys, there are marketplace, there's all type of buy, sell, and trade where you can trade this with that person. There's people locally that will meet up with you and swap, I promise you. Just get started, get your first season under your belt with saddle hunting, and then you can evolve this process and make it your own once you understand the concept. I have two kind of different styles of saddles with me right now, the one I'm wearing and then what's in my hand. This one is the Phantom. It's kind of a football shape. This will cup, it won't ride up, but it won't sit as well as the one that I have on. So you kind of look at saddles in three different tiers of adjustability, right? This one, not a whole lot of adjustability. The pro to this one is super minimalistic, so you're gonna save some weight here. Very modular. These pouches come off on both sides. This roll pouch comes off, and you can freaking load out whatever you want in here. Now, a step up in kind of comfortability and being able to really have a saddle that molds to your body is this tethered ultra lock, because this bottom, you can kind of stretch it. You can see that stretch that you have to really cup down on your legs, okay? Now, a step above, which I do not have, I should have coming here shortly, is a 2-panel style, right? So not only will it have the ability to stretch under here, it will also have the ability to kind of go like a back band here, if that makes sense. And then obviously, if you're talking about like modern history of saddle hunting, like very modern, not the DIY days, you had the tethered mantis, which rode up even more, but it was super, super light and super minimalist. So if I'm you, I'm going middle ground on weight savings and minimalist. You're kind of starting in the middle of the setups, and then you can expand out from there. I've traded saddles, I've sold saddles, all that. They will go, I'm telling you. So I recommend this tethered ultra lock because it's kind of middle ground. It's not Phantom, but it's also not 2-panel. So you kind of get a middle ground of comfort, and you get a middle ground with weight. It stretches down here to give you that cupping feeling in the tree. And then you pair it with this back band, and this back band, I'll show you that at some point on the tree, is gonna give you some extra comfort there. Okay, what I have here is a tethered Predator platform. This is the OG one. I'm not even sure if they sell this one anymore. This is literally, I believe this is the first one that they came out with. So we're gonna set this up on the tree. It's very, very simple. So all you're doing is cinching this up nice and tight. You notice I still have this folded up, guys, as I cinch this to the tree. All I'm gonna do now, once I've gotten all the slack out of this line, is push down. After I push down, I'm gonna do what's called camming it over. So I'm gonna boom, and it really bites in. That is super rock solid. Okay, so there's a bunch of products out there, mechanical devices that you can attach to your tether. Cool, you can get into those things, but at the bare level, you need a climbing rated rope. And then all we're gonna do on the tree is feed this side through this loop here. So I'm gonna take this to the tree. I'm gonna wrap it around. I have a prusik tied on here, and then I'm gonna run this through the tree. So this will hold here in place. It's attached to a carabiner. This is going to attach to my bridge. Okay, so this is at bare minimum. This is what you need to do. Step one in the process, get your tether. Your tether is gonna be on the tree. Your tether is gonna have a prusik on it. That prusik is gonna be attached to a carabiner. That carabiner is gonna be attached to a bridge that is on your saddle. This is what you should be doing in your yard or a park or whatever, is just practicing here. So don't think too hard. Don't spend a bunch of money on a rope man, on all this stuff. Just get you something that's gonna allow you to get in the tree. We've established how to actually sit in the saddle, hang from a saddle. The reason why we did that first is because you should be doing that from ground level. So climbing method shouldn't even be in your head yet. You just need to understand how you're gonna get in the saddle, be comfortable, flip upside down, do all that stuff, all the stuff that you would be nervous about at height, do it at ground. So that way if something happens, if something breaks, if you don't rig up your prusik right or something, you can work all of that out when your pride and ego will be bruised and not your body, okay? So next, we're into climbing methods. If you're new to saddle hunting, just get you a pack of 4 sticks. Don't worry about aiders. Don't worry about a cam cleat. Don't do any fancy stuff, because all that stuff is gonna do is make you spend a bunch of extra money, and it's gonna keep you buffering. Get you 4 sticks, you'll be able to sell the other 3, especially if you got like reputable ones. Now, so I'm gonna attach this. You don't necessarily need a full tutorial on how to attach this. When you get the sticks, you'll see instructions. All I'm doing, down, around, and then an X pattern. And then you're supposed to lock this off with some half hitches. Okay, at the end of the day, that's how that happens. You don't even need to really be worried about aiders. An aider for you new folks is this rope portion that's hanging from my stick. That's all that is. It allows me to eliminate having a couple sticks and just have one. But don't worry about that right now, because you need some reps just doing this. So I have my first stick on the tree. You guys saw how I attached it. Next thing I'm gonna do, take your lineman's belt, okay? So this lineman's belt, essentially how it works, let me demonstrate over here first. All right, so I'm gonna take this lineman's belt, and on pretty much all the tethered saddles, you got your bridge loops, but then you have your lineman's loop, okay? The lineman's loop on these don't have these little balls in here, these lumps. For the comfort channels, it's just a smooth loop. So I'm gonna throw this in here. Now all I'm gonna do is bring out this slack. So imagine I'm climbing up the tree. Now I need to set my other stick on the tree. When my feet are on my sticks and I'm setting the next stick, I'm gonna get close to the tree. The closer you have, the tighter you have your lineman's belt to the tree, if your stick kicks out from under you, you should pull here. Now, with a lineman's belt, you're probably gonna slide a little bit on the tree and it's going to bang you up. That's why a lot of people use tethers these days. But at the basic level, you're gonna be attached to the tree like this. Now, what this allows me to do is have both of my hands when I'm attaching the next thing. So I'm gonna step up. I have to, especially on the ground, I have to let some slack out here in this lineman. Once I get here, then I can kind of bring some of that slack back in. All I'm doing, I don't really want to talk you through too much on the aider because I don't want you guys to squirrel on me. I want you to stay focused on task at hand. You got to keep advancing this lineman's belt as you climb. You want this lineman's belt to really like be above, like at an upward angle, if that makes sense. So here, while you're at this bottom step still, if you're not one sticking, if you're gonna be using multiple sticks, then you probably wanna stop at your bottom step, pull off your other stick. Guys, don't be trying to stretch so far. Don't worry about speed right now. Speed will come with smoothness and proficiency. When you set this stick, once you attach it, always push it down. You don't want the first sag in the step to be when you step on it. Get all of that out with your muscle as you can. These teeth should bite into the tree. You shouldn't see one side kind of hanging off. That's how you're gonna get a kick out on your stick. So now I climb a little bit more. And I'd rather put that next stick a little bit lower than I imagine than too high. I don't want to be stretching too high. And especially because for me right now, I have a strained hip abductor, so I don't have as much mobility or strength right now in that leg. So if I can do this injured and in Crocs, you guys can definitely do this. There we go, guys. That's how you set up. That's how you climb. That's it. Now I'm gonna come back down a step and I'm gonna show you how you set your platform up from here. I haven't had to do this in a long time. I've been rappelling out of the tree for years now. Okay, so the next thing I would recommend doing is go ahead and getting on your tether once you're at the point where you wanna attach your platform. So what that means is, remember back to our glossary terms, throwing tether on board, tail in through loop. I'm gonna pass it through. Then we're gonna go carabiner through the prusik. Then that other end, guess where it's going? It's going to your bridge. So what I like to do next is slowly let slack out from my lineman's belt and put my weight into this tether. Now use common sense, guys. Get as much slack out of this tether as you can. Pull down on that prusik to set it into the tether. So I'm gonna hold on to the tree while I let this slack out. Okay, good to go. So you need to be thinking about which side do you want, which side is your primary. So if the hunting lane is over there, then and I am a right-handed shooter, that means I'm gonna want my platform to be over here. If my primary shooting lane was over there, then I'd want my platform over here, guys. If I'm making sense, just leave, if you could, leave below in the comments tracking. There's a couple schools of thought here. You can go a little bit higher so you can have a step up so you can gain some more elevation in the tree, or you can just go level with this first step, with your last step here, so that you have more foot room. So I have the platform and I have my foot to put on here. It's up to you guys. And then for the nerds there, please leave in the comments that you would have already been up the tree in your climber. Please leave in the comments, just use a ladder stand. Or if you're super rich and bougie, please leave that, hey, my tree stand is elevated, covered, and heated. If you essentially hunt from a high-rise apartment, leave that below in the comments. But trust, nobody cares. Talking about just use a ladder stand like we not hunting on public land and trying to keep people from finding our spots. Like, bro, what are y'all talking about? All right, before you cam this over, please be smart. Make sure your rope is not gonna get burnt, essentially. That you're not gonna clip your rope to your climbing stick before you do this. For all the nerds that's gonna say, oh, can you do this in the dark? Yes, eyes are closed. I'm doggone Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder right now, and I can feel this rope, and I can feel the teeth of this platform, and guess what? I can tell that I have enough space. So I'm gonna cam this over. You see how hard it is to cam over right now? That's what I want. It's gonna be bit into the tree, super good. That's gonna give me some good stability. I'm gonna advance my linemen's up as I climb back up on the step. And I'm gonna adjust my tether up. Get all the way to the top of my top step. Get this tether up here. Okay, now pause, guys. Do not perform this next step without having your tether up here. Do not step from your stick to your platform without having this tether up here. This is a checkpoint, guys, because if you messed up setting up this platform, or it falls away, or you miss something, this tether is gonna save you, okay? So now you make your transition onto your platform. Now, you could take off your linemen's, but I do not, because I like having this as like a third hand while I'm up here. So I'm gonna set my tether real good. Mobile Hunter Prints makes a really good attachment that goes on your doggone tether to keep this from sliding down the tree at any point in time. So right now I'd be rigging up my bow hanger, I'd be pulling up my pack, and if I don't have this on, I'll just be kind of swinging on my tether while I'm trying to set this up. Having this in place means that I can kind of let go of the tree and work. That's it, guys. You're at hunting height. It's not, keep it simple, stupid, okay? I'm not calling you stupid, I'm just using the acronym KISS. Keep it very, very simple as you get into saddle hunting. And then what I want you to do is progress your loadout as you go. Now, the last thing I forgot to tell you guys about is knee pads, because you're gonna have your knees into the tree. Get you some good quality knee pads so you're not taking the brunt of this here. You'll be nice and comfortable. So the next thing you need to do to climb down, you're gonna have to pull in your lineman's belt again. Get that tight to the tree, okay? Once you get that tight to the tree, and your tether is nice and loose, go ahead and pull your tether off. Okay, so I am held by this lineman, making the necessary slack that you need, and you're gonna walk down your steps. Okay, so that's climbing method, really number one, and climb down method, that's your first one, most basic. Now, if you guys want me to show you how to kind of level this up a little bit, we can go into rappelling down so you can quickly get out of the woods. Even if you don't one stick, you can still rappel. So all I'm gonna do, grab my device here, and I'm just start making my way downtown. Use that to find the next one. Because I need to pause here, I gotta remove my platform. To remove this platform, very simple, come on over here. I'm gonna lift up. That's gonna immediately allow me enough slack to hit this button over here to loosen it up. I personally just kind of like rigging my stuff up, pausing up here, but that's totally your prerogative, guys. Rope management, rope management, rope management, guys. Saddle hunting, kind of just like tuning your bow and all that stuff. And accuracy with archery is all about processes, okay? So do the same thing the same way every time, and you can rely on your methods and your processes, and you don't have to rely on your memory so much. As we have a few more birthdays, we start to forget things. But if you do things, if you keep the routine things routine, you'll be less likely to make a critical mistake. This one stick mini is ridiculously light too. This is crazy. So I can one stick with this. I can get all the way up the tree as high as I want to with literally just this, guys. And then you can keep rappelling down. So when you're getting to using aiders, right, you're definitely gonna rappel down. You don't wanna be trying to climb this. How's it going, sir? When you get into using aiders, you definitely don't want to be trying to find your feet into those, right? So for that, you should definitely, if you're going to get into this method, rappelling really is your only option. And guys, I did all of this in Crocs, easy day. When I started the video, I was sweating. By the time I'm coming down, I'm not even sweating. So I worked up less body heat coming down the tree than I did at the bottom of the tree, as crazy as that sounds. Okay guys, that is like bare bones basic way to hunt out of the saddle. I hope this demystified the process for you guys. There's a whole bunch of different strands you can go off on. Just go through my playlist if you want to see what I'm using currently. This is not my current method. This is how I hunted when I first started, minus the rappel method. I would still climb down the tree at the end of the hunt without rappelling, okay? So this is educational. If it helps you in any way, shape, or form, go ahead and hit the like button for us. It costs you $0 to do it. It does everything for us in the algorithm. Please bang that bell notification so you don't miss a single upload. Help us get there. Share it with your friends. If you don't know how to spell it by now, it's P-R-I-V-I-L-E-G-E-D. I know you know how to spell bow hunter. We love y'all. Peace.